In the world of motorsports, few cars have left a legacy as indelible as the Nissan GT-R. It wasn't just a fast car, it was a car that changed the game, forced competitors to rethink everything they knew, and earned a nickname that strikes fear into the heart of rivals worldwide: Godzilla. This is the story of how a struggling car manufacturer in Japan gave birth to a racing legend. In the late 1970s and early 80s, Nissan was facing an identity crisis. The company's performance cars had lost their edge, and the Nissan Z, a flagship of Japanese sports cars, had become bulky and uninspired. Meanwhile, competitors like Porsche, BMW, and Ford dominated the racetrack and were claiming more attention from racing fans and car buyers alike. It looked like Nissan was fading into the background. But then came Yutaka Kume, the president of Nissan Motors, a man with a vision to reignite the company's racing spirit. Kume knew that to bring Nissan back to the forefront, they needed to break the mold. He launched a bold initiative, the 901 Movement, to develop the best-performing cars in the world by 1990. No compromises, no shortcuts, just pure racing spirit. And leading this charge was Nismo, Nissan's newly established performance division, headed by Yasuharu Namba, a man whose dedication to Nissan racing dated back to the 1950s. A new era begins. Their goal was simple but monumental: create a car so dominant that it would become the standard by which all others were judged. Their focus? The All-Japan Touring Car Championship, a fiercely competitive racing series where international giants like BMW, Ferrari, and Ford came to test their might on Japanese soil. Nissan had once ruled this series, but their grip had slipped, and now they were determined to take it back. The journey wasn't easy. In 1985, they entered the championship with the DR30 Skyline, but it couldn't keep up with the powerhouses from Europe. Even the release of the R31 Skyline didn't fully capture the spark Nissan needed. But behind the scenes, something incredible was happening. Engineers at Nissan were pouring everything they had into a new platform, a car that would not just race, but would shatter records and turn heads across the globe. Enter the R32 GT-R. By 1989, the R32 GT-R was ready to hit the track. Powered by the RB26DT engine, a 2.6-liter inline-six beast with twin turbos, the GT-R roared to life with over 320 horsepower straight from the factory, and, with modifications, could climb as high as 800 horsepower on the racetrack. But horsepower wasn't the only thing that made this car unique. The R32 GT-R was built around one of the most advanced all-wheel drive systems ever developed, known as the ATTESA ET-S. This wasn't just any AWD system. Engineers had taken notes from the Porsche 959, widely regarded as one of the best handling cars of its time. By combining an electro-hydraulic clutch with cutting-edge sensors, the GT-R could send power to the front wheels only when the rear wheels lost traction, creating a driving experience that combined the stability of AWD with the raw thrill of rear-wheel drive. With this technological marvel in place, the GT-R hit the track and immediately started dominating. In 1990, the GT-R entered Japan's Group A racing series. In that season alone, it became so successful that fans and rivals alike started calling it Godzilla. And for the next 3 years, Godzilla became unstoppable, consistently finishing first, often filling the entire podium with Nissan cars, while BMW, Ford, and others watched helplessly. Godzilla's legacy on the world stage. But the GT-R's reign didn't stop in Japan. It crossed borders and started laying waste to competition in international circuits. In Australia, the GT-R tore through the Bathurst 1000 in 1991 and 1992, sending shockwaves through the racing world. With its distinct round taillights blazing, it was unbeatable, a force of nature on the track that soon forced officials to reconsider the rules just to keep up with Nissan's unstoppable monster. The nickname Godzilla wasn't just a marketing gimmick. The R32 GT-R represented everything that was feared and respected about Japanese engineering: precision, reliability, and the audacity to take on giants without hesitation. Beyond racing, the GT-R is a cultural icon. But the GT-R's success wasn't only about winning races. It became a cultural icon, inspiring generations of car enthusiasts and solidifying Nissan's place in automotive history. With over 40,000 units sold, the R32 GT-R was more than just a car. It was a statement. Nissan had proved that they could create a car that could win on Sunday and sell on Monday, a feat that many had tried, but few had achieved. And the legacy of the GT-R didn't end with the R32. It inspired a new era of Japanese performance cars, like the twin-turbo 300ZX, the lightweight Silvia, and even rally-inspired gems like the Pulsar GT-R. Each of these cars carried a piece of the GT-R's DNA, a commitment to performance and innovation that continues to define Nissan to this day. A legacy that lives on today, the Nissan GT-R is still revered worldwide, not only as a phenomenal car, but as a symbol of what happens when a company chooses ambition over compromise. Its journey from a struggling model line to an automotive legend reminds us that sometimes greatness requires taking risks, embracing challenges, and pursuing perfection, no matter the cost. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more stories of legendary cars, and let's keep celebrating the machines that make history on the track and on the street.